What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the obviously awesome Dr. Disaster, and it is impressive how the quality of a character creator can either make or break a video game. It's usually one of the first things that gamers see from a game, so it's kind of an important element of marketing. Consider what we saw with Dragon Age the Veilguard's character creation with their top surgery scars, the vitiligo skin condition, and the female characters with the body proportions of a golf club. What you can create in this game is just absolutely lovely to behold, isn't it?
I bet you say that to all the boys who become girls.
There were a lot of reasons that game failed, but this piss-poor character creator in Dragon Age the Veilguard certainly did not help them from a marketing perspective. Now, consider what the opposite can do for a game. Let's take Vindictus Defying Fate as a recent example of what I'm talking about for a variety of reasons. The game's alpha test has been getting some negative review scores, as you can see here. Suffice to say, the gameplay isn't considered very strong, but look at the character creator here. Because of what you can do with character creation, the game has been getting talked about quite a bit, even though it sounds like they have a lot to iron out. Some people may not like it, but this stuff sells.
Maybe it's time we all stop trying to outsmart the truth and let it have its day.
And this brings me to Mecha Break, which we have been talking about for some time on this channel off and on, a game which quietly announced that its release date is in about a week and a half. But Mecha Break is a game that lets you fight mechs against one another, which is of course a genre with a shitload of people who really love it. But they took the mech concept in this game and they fused it with another very popular concept, the waifu.
Very impressive.
They have a very detailed character creator mode in Mecha Break where you can build the pilot for your mech and create your own personal waifu. And naturally, this has garnered a ton of attention from gamers ever since it was revealed. It turns out that not pandering to the modern audience and restricting what players can do with their female characters is a freaking goldmine. In fact, Mecha Break has done something on Steam that only a few other games ever achieve. They reached over 200,000 followers before they even released. This game has the chance to reach Marvel Rivals levels of players because, once again, gamers see the characters in a game like this and say,
Well, hello, beautiful.
Alright me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and don't forget to follow Dr. Disaster over on Rumble, where I've started uploading some content as well. But let's take a look at the numbers that we're seeing for Mecha Break thus far. Now, here is what it looks like on Steam right now. As I said a minute ago, this is one of the few games in the history of Steam to hit over 200,000 followers before the game launches. That is a fairly significant milestone. Think of a game like Black Myth Wukong, which ended up hitting almost 2.5 million concurrent players on Steam at its peak. Black Myth is one of those games that managed to hit over 200,000 followers before launch. Not that I expect Mecha Break to come anywhere near the rarefied airs of Black Myth Wukong when it comes to player count and popularity, but I certainly expect the game to do very well based on these preliminary numbers. After all, The marketing is insane for this game, and make no mistake, the character creator is a marketing ploy. The actual gameplay and combat for Mecha Break looks reasonably solid, but the hook is the fact that you can create your own waifu to pilot your mech. This goes right along with what Asmongold was saying about the game Marathon a couple months ago. He said that in a shooter, which is a genre primarily played by males, Mecha Break isn't a shooter of course, but it certainly will have a majority male audience, make no mistake, but he said that any game like this, where the developers create ugly and androgynous characters like they made in Marathon, that is just a poor design idea. He said that the best designs for female characters are those that are effable, and he's absolutely right. That is just good marketing. The characters in Mecha Break are going to bring in a ton of male gamers because, as Asmongold pointed out, this sort of marketing is efficient. The female gamers are going to enjoy it too. They are going to cosplay as the pilots in this game at conventions and things like that. This is the sort of thing that gets people excited, and this is why the game's demo a few months back hit over 300,000 concurrent players at its peak, despite being just a brief demo. The hook for this game is insane because, and I know this will come as a shock, because we've definitely never said this around here before, definitely not 10 times a week or anything like that, but gamers like curvy female characters. They just do. Now, as for what we can expect from a number perspective for Mecha Break when it comes to player count, it is a free-to-play game, so we need to compare it to other free-to-play games. These were the numbers for last year's The First Descendant, which also used sex appeal to sell their game. That game topped out at a little over 250,000 players, which is impressive, but as you can see, the demo for Mecha Break has already beaten that number, so I fully expect that Mecha Break will absolutely blow The First Descendant away. If they can manage better gameplay than The First Descendant, which I personally found that game, The First Descendant, to be pretty clunky and cumbersome, and I'm not alone, this is the review score number for The First Descendant on Steam. It got a mixed score at about 56%, but if Mecha Break ends up actually having solid gameplay, then it will blow right past The First Descendant, and it won't even be close. There is a likelihood with good gameplay that they could see numbers akin to Marvel Rivals. That game maxed out at about 650,000 concurrent players on Steam, and it boasted over 20 million players across all platforms in just a couple weeks after release. Now, Mecha Break isn't being released on PlayStation, only PC and Xbox, at least on launch, so it will likely have muted numbers compared to Rivals when it comes to total players like that. But one thing to note is that on Steam, Marvel Rivals currently has about 217,000 followers, and it has been released for the better part of a year by now. Meanwhile, Mecha Break damn near already has almost the same amount of followers a week and a half removed from its release date, which is impressive as hell. All this being said, I wouldn't be shocked if Mecha Break ended up toppling Marvel Rivals and hitting a higher player count on Steam. I don't necessarily expect it because the Marvel property is obviously massive, but you know what else is freaking massive? Mechs. Mechs are super popular. Waifus are also super popular. If you smash them both together into the same game, you've really got something. But I'm gonna leave it there. What is your prediction for the Mecha Break peak concurrent player count on Steam when it releases, and do you plan on playing this game? Drop your thoughts into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.